Did you know that food is for your body like fuel is for your car? If you give it a bunch of cheap, crummy fuel, it is going to feel and perform poorly. Well, I'm Shar, and I'm a certified personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and you're watching Y2V's Food and Fitness Friday, and today I'm going to give you some nutrition tips to help you look, feel, and perform better. We're coming to you from Rock Springs, Wyoming, where we've spent the last several days at the 63rd annual Escapade. It has been a blast. We had a vendor booth for CamperGigs. We did a volunteering seminar for a year to volunteer, and I did a seminar on food and fitness and nutrition on the road. This has been a great group of people. If you are not a member of Escapees, you definitely have to check them out. Okay, let's get into today's material. Did you know that only 3% of America has a healthy diet, is at a healthy weight, regularly exercises, and doesn't smoke? 3%. That is a staggering and disturbing statistic. Well, we have to do something to fix that, because that is creating more chronic disease and unhealthy life all across the country. And America is one of the worst in the world. If you want your body to work good for you, you have to give it healthy, good fuel. So tip number 1, half of your plate at every single meal should be fruits and vegetables. You want to eat your colors. The more colors you eat, the better, more nutritional life you will have. And I promise, the better your body is going to feel. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to move better. You're going to sleep better. Just fill your plate at every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with half of fruits and vegetables. Doesn't really matter which kind. Just pick some vegetables and some fruits that you like and load your plate up with them. Even have them for snacks. You can never have too much fruits and vegetables. Now, tip number 2 is grains, but you don't want just any grain. You want whole grains. You want things like barley, quinoa, brown rice, whole grain bread. You want to stay away from what we call the 5 whites: white sugar, white rice, white potatoes, white pasta, and white bread. Now, I get it. These are major lifestyle changes for many people. What you want to do is just have them in moderation. And here is a super big tip. Anytime you have a carb of any sort, whether it's a complex carb or a simple carb, something sugary and sweet, or something of those 5 whites, you want to have it with a protein. The reason is because when you eat, especially simple carbs, the body processes that very, very quickly, and it basically spikes your blood sugar. When your blood sugar goes up, that pancreas works overtime to produce insulin to balance it back out. That's really, really hard on the body, and that's also why we have a lot of type 2 diabetics in our country. So not only do you want to avoid the 5 whites, but if you are going to have them, or any carbohydrate for that matter, even if it's a whole grain, you want to combine it with a protein. And if you don't have a lot of protein available at the moment, then go ahead and just take a nice scoop of peanut butter. Yes, there are fats in peanut butter, but they will help slow down the digestion of those carbohydrates so you don't have those blood sugar and insulin spikes. Tip number 3, protein. Protein is amazing. Our bodies need it for a multitude of reasons, largely in part because it helps maintain and build muscle mass. You've heard me say before, the reason having muscle mass is important is because it raises your metabolism. The higher your metabolism, the more calories you burn at rest, doing things like breathing and sleeping. So the more muscle mass you have, the better off you're going to be. And you're going to be stronger and healthier, and you're going to be able to move and do more things than somebody who has less muscle. Also, protein does things like strengthens the immune system, helps regulate hormones. So protein is a great nutrient that we need to have quite a bit of. As a general rule, we probably need about 45 to 65 grams of protein per day. But if you are a bigger person or if you have a lot more muscle mass, you will need a bit more than that. Typically, you want to have about 0.8 grams of protein for every kilogram in body weight. You'll have to go online and search. Basically, it's your body weight divided by 2.2 will give you kilograms, and then times that by 0.8, and that is going to give you how much protein you should have. But for normal, healthy people that aren't super athletes, about 45 to 65 grams per day is good. Now, there was a recent 30-year study that was wrapped up where a bunch of nurses were followed, and the study was done by the American Council on Clinical Nutrition. And they followed these nurses around, and they chose nurses because they typically, as a large group, have healthier lifestyle than other regular normal people. Well, for every 3% increase in plant protein, where it replaces an animal protein, there was a 41% higher chance of not being physically impaired. Now, I know that's kind of a weird way of saying it, but that's how the study reported it. But the point here is that if you can choose good, healthy proteins, you probably want to stay away from your red meats or just eat those things on occasions. Again, have these things in moderation. But if you can replace any of your animal proteins with a plant protein, you are going to have a healthier lifestyle. It is going to help you look and feel better and ward off a lot of those chronic diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes and all of those illnesses that are because of the way that we live. Now, there are lots of healthy, delicious, plant-based proteins. For instance, beans, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, all kinds of beans, lentils, nuts, grains, things like quinoa, barley, farro, oatmeal. All of those have good, healthy proteins in them. Seeds are fantastic, and they also give you omega-3s. Seeds like pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp hearts, all of those have about 8 to 10 grams of protein per serving. So they're really good, healthy, plant-based proteins that will do your body good. Now, if you're somebody who likes science and statistics and you want some hardcore resources behind what I'm telling you right now, I highly recommend that you watch 2 films. The first is Forks Over Knives, and the second one is The Game Changers. They both did very serious studies. The Game Changers studies more or follows people who are athletes, runners, cyclists, weightlifters, football players, and they have them test out plant-based diets and animal-based diets. And I believe every single example, the plant-based diet won out. They performed better. They recovered faster. They got quicker in whatever their specialty was. They got stronger, faster. So definitely look into those 2 documentaries. They will share a lot of really quality scientific information. Forks Over Knives does a lot of the studies and comparing the US with a lot of other countries, and it's really quite amazing. Definitely check those out. Don't just believe me, do your own research. So there you have it. There are 4 tips to help you live healthier so that your body can be there for you when you're trying to do any type of an activity or just to look and feel better. Number 1, again, is have more fruits and vegetables. Half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables every single day. 2, grains. Have your healthy grains. If you're going to indulge in those carbohydrates, those simple carbs and the sugars and those things that aren't so great for you, balance it out with a protein to help slow down that digestion so the body doesn't create a whole bunch of blood sugar spikes and insulin production. 3, protein. Your body needs protein. Try to do more chicken and fish if you're still going to be a meat eater. And if you're going to have your red meats, just do them more in moderation. Make it not a regular daily part of your diet. And number 4 is, if possible, please switch to some plant-based proteins in place of some of those animal-based proteins. I promise you will look, feel, and perform better. Well, that's it for today's Food and Fitness Friday. If you like this video, give us the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. We'll see you next week.